Hello, this is Tonya Dawn Recla, your superpower expert, and my daughter,
Neva Lee Recla, your superpower kid.
Oh, goodness. And so today we're talking about how to be confident in yourself, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we're big fans of being confident. As you can tell, we're sitting here doing a podcast together and it's video. So we're pretty big fans of being confident. And we recently went to an event called
Meltdown in the Desert,
which was fantastic. It was out here in Phoenix, which is where we are. We're in Phoenix, Arizona. And we learned a lot about being confident, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
So let's talk about that. So what was one thing that you learned about being confident?
Even if you're afraid, keep on going, folks. That's what you need to know in order to be confident in yourself.
I think that's a fair point. So we talk a lot about fear in our house, right?
Yes, we do.
And I think a lot of people who do self-development, personal journeying, and that type of stuff, I think they think that there's going to be this magical point in time when they're not going to be afraid anymore.
But everyone has scarcities. Everyone is scared.
Yeah. So, and we talk a lot about the difference between scarcity and scared, right? So we talk a lot about scarcity, but ultimately the conversation around, how to be confident. So let's see if we can't come up with some tips and tricks that we took away from the conference. So we listed a lot of cool speakers, right?
So
like, who's one you can think of?
Sean Whalen.
Well, he kind of tops the list in terms of being confident, huh?
Yeah.
Why is that?
His outfit. He dresses.
His outfit, because he has a confident outfit.
Yes, he dresses really cool.
He does dress very cool. And what does that say about him, right? We talked a little bit about this.
That just be yourself. Don't let anyone else tell you to wear a business suit or dress to a business meeting. You wear what you want to wear.
That's true. And let's talk about a little bit being confident in the clothes you wear, right? So you did a whole business around that at one point in time, didn't you?
Hot clothes for kids.
Hot clothes for kids. And that was all about what?
It was about being confident in yourself and being confident in what you wear.
Yeah. So how did you describe like hot clothes?
Hot clothes, well, gotta say, I got a lot of criticism on that.
Yeah, you did.
But
what did it mean to you, though?
It meant to me that I was giving kids actually good tips on how they can deal with people judging them, on how they can deal with people telling them what they should wear and what they shouldn't. And one of my catchphrases was hot or not, or looking good is feeling good.
I think that's really valuable. One of the points that I took away from what Sean Whalen had to say was he's pretty popular in doing videos on Facebook, right?
Yes, he is.
And one of the things I took away from him was the idea that when he started off, he wasn't doing the videos. In fact, the very first video he did, it wasn't for anyone else.
It wasn't?
No, don't you remember him talking about, like, who did he do that first video for?
Himself.
For himself, right? And he allowed all of us to be witness to that. And so I think that there's something to be said for, a lot of times we don't put something out there because we're afraid of what other people might think.
I also gotta say, I love his beard.
So Sean Whalen, Neva Lee Recla loves your beard.
Yes.
All right, so there were a lot of other great speakers out there. So it was Colby K who started the event, right? He put it on.
Gave me some Tokidoki.
We like the Tokidoki.
Yes, if you haven't seen my video, definitely go check that out. It's on Facebook. And he's amazing. He's super nice, super generous. His kids are amazing.
The whole family's great.
Yes.
So we love them. So lots of really phenomenal people. But Colby, what I loved about Colby was he had a different kind of feeling of confidence, right? To me, Colby came across as like he was like all in, right? Not that the other speakers weren't, but Colby to me just embodied like the all in aspect. What do you think I mean by that?
I don't really know what all in means. Like,
no? What does it sound like?
Maybe a little bit like you're actually focused on doing something.
Yeah, he focused, like not holding back.
Yeah.
Not being like, well, I'm going to kind of put on this event and then kind of not. And I mean,
he was actually taking his time out of his life to do this event.
Right. So that's all in, right? Because that's not, events aren't easy to put on. Anyone who's done events knows that they take a lot of effort. Okay, we're back. Sorry about the brief interruption, but go on. What were we talking about? We were talking about Colby K and being all in.
Yes. So let's try to find my place.
Well, we'll have a new place.
Yep.
That's okay, right?
So he took his time out of his running his business event to get me on the stage and get me a $1 million sponsor, which meant so much.
You're hooked on $1 million. So let's talk about that for a second. So her sponsorships are not $1 million, but she just had a conversation with none other than Liz Benny, who also spoke at the event, and they were talking about $1 million dreams, and we'll get into that some other time. But so no, her sponsorships are not $1 million. Although if you want to sponsor her for $1 million, I don't think we're going to turn that down.
No, we won't.
No, we won't. All right, so let's move on. So Colby K, good job. Thumbs up.
Thank you for getting me a sponsor that was not $1 million.
Oh, moving on. Okay. Anyway, you're a goof. So we met some other really phenomenal people, but what I really wanted to get across here, and we'll take a quick break, but before we do, the concept of how to be confident in yourself. I think a lot of people want to be. A lot of people, can see themselves being confident, but the steps to take to do that. And so we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll talk about some action steps you can take to be more confident in yourself. We'll be right back.
Are you here to change the world? Do you talk about things like vibration, frequency, awakening, and consciousness? Are you pretty sure you have superpowers? The Superpower Net is unlike normal coaching programs and conscious communities. We provide training, intuitive guidance, peer-to-peer learning, intensive one-on-one coaching, and a high vibrational network of people just like you. When you join the net, you get 24/7 access to a collaborative group of people who support you as you master your personal power and unlock your superpowers. If you're ready to use your superpowers to change the world, then join the Superpower Net today. Visit superpowerexperts.com/the-net to learn more.
Okay, we're back, folks. And if you're just now joining us, we are talking about how to be confident in yourself. And as I promised, we're going to go over some tips and tricks, right?
Yep.
So what's one thing people can do to just step into confidence?
Don't let anyone get you down, okay? So if you want to be confident in yourself, don't let anyone who's judging you, giving you criticism about what you're wearing, about how you do things in your life, don't let that get you down. Don't let that stop you.
Yeah.
You need to keep on going in order to be confident in yourself.
I agree with that. And sometimes it's just a matter, you're like, she does that, folks.
Yes.
Sometimes she just gets taken over by, I don't know what that is. Because she's actually 7, I promise. We have a birth certificate to prove it.
I'm not 17.
Or 77.
No.
Or 7,000.
No.
7.
I'm just 7.
So one of the other things I think is really crucial too is the doing piece. So like Neva was talking about, don't let other people stop you, but stop you from what? Pick something. So for me, a lot of it was video. So as you noticed, we're now doing video. So I've been doing our podcast, the Superpower podcast, for over a year now. And I did it all audio. Now there was some strategic purpose to that, but also I wasn't a big fan of doing video. And sometimes you just have to do it. So we started doing more Facebook Live videos, started doing them together too, because what we realized was that a big part of the magic in how we discovered superpowers and some of the stuff that we play with is in us, is you and I and Daddy and Daddy and I and you and Daddy and all the dynamics that happen there.
Daddy and Callie.
Well, and the dog, of course. Yes. We can't forget the dog.
We can't. And actually yesterday we did our manifesto all together, because it's not mine, not my mom's, not my dad's, it's our manifesto.
Yeah.
So definitely go check that out. It's a really heartfelt manifesto. I definitely suggest you go and check it out.
Well, but here's the problem.
What?
Only people who went to Meltdown in the Desert can check out our manifesto. So maybe we'll do another one.
Then go to Meltdown in the Desert if you want to see our manifesto.
That's a phenomenal sales pitch. Oh, this child. Maybe we'll do another one.
Yes.
For the whole world, because the whole world is just sitting there waiting for the Recla clan to do a manifesto. All right. So anyway, so we met some amazing people there. But the biggest takeaway was just just do it. Like that's really how you start to develop. We talk about a lot at Superpower Experts about cellular confidence. And what we're talking about there is that if you don't have any proof in your body that you can do something, then you're probably not going to do it. Neva's done a Bob Proctor video about the
stick person theory.
Yeah, and the 2 minds. What were they?
Thinking mind and believing mind.
Right. And so the believing mind is also kind of, very similar to the concept of how we store information inside of us.
Can I maybe give them a good idea?
Sure. Give them a good idea.
It's going to be based off what Liz, Benny, and I talked about, which is about me once I get $1 million that I'm going to buy a pet pig and name it Piglet. I was going to name it Hamlet, but
now you've changed the name?
I don't want to offend it.
Oh, because of ham?
Yeah.
We don't want to offend the pig. So thank you, Liz, Benny, for...
Yes, thank you.
Yes. So we'll be the proud owners of a pig.
Yeah. That looks like our dog. All right. Anywho.
A pig that looks like a dog.
Yes.
Well, then why can't we just get a dog that looks like a pig and call it good? No?
Anywho. So if you were to believe that you were going to become ham.
Let's get back on track. Okay, give them an example of thinking and believing minds.
Okay, so if you were to believe that you were going to get a pet pig and name it Piglet, that your thinking mind would have to think that you were to get a pet pig and name it Piglet. Or
that's possible, right?
Yeah. And your believing mind would have to believe that you could get the pet pig.
Right, but there was a parameter. Like, it wasn't just getting the pet pig. It was accomplishing something that seems like a really big deal. Like a big, at least for us, maybe there are kids in the world that's not a big deal to, but it's for us, it's like we don't have the cellular confidence around that, do we?
We
right?
Don't. And that
I didn't grow up in a world where it was conceivable that a 7-year-old would make $1 million.
Yeah, and Mom and I were talking last night about how that could be my reward. If I made $1 million, that could be my reward.
We're not above bribery in this house at all.
We don't bribe.
No, we do, actually.
Oh.
We do.
Yes. Right.
We do. But that's not really how it came about, though, right? It was what would you do if, and at that point it became a opening up, like what's possible in that space. Because in order to step into a new space and to be confident that you can do that, you have to be able to conceive of it, right? You have to dream. And that's actually one of your 5 points for how to help your kids be entrepreneurs. Funny how things tie together.
And actually, thank you, Liz Benny, because she gave me the idea to get a picture of Piglet. And it just so happens that I was on my iPad and I went on it. And I found the cutest little black and white pig. That's going to be Piglet.
And there you have it, folks. So what we took away from Meltdown in the Desert is super important that you start asking, like, what do you want? What do you want to do? What can you do? And how, in terms of like aiming for this, like how to be confident in yourself.
How do you do it?
And without that, success is probably not very likely, right? You have to believe you can do it.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you have to do it first before you can believe it.
Yeah, you have to do it first before you believe it. Like,
do you have an example of when you've done that? Can you think of something?
Yeah, I was just about to do something based off what I did. So I jumped off a swing once and I loved it. And I had to do it before I believed I could.
Because before that, you were afraid? Yeah. So I agree with that. Getting up and pitching in front of, I remember the media pitch. Well, you did a couple pitches at Business Acceleration. You won the pitch tank. But you didn't know what you were going to do there, right?
I didn't.
But you just did it. And then Colby pulled you up on stage. You weren't real sure what was going to happen there.
I was scared he was going to make me do something when
She was a little afraid. I don't know what she thought you were going to make her do, Colby, but she was a little afraid.
Maybe I was afraid that you were like going to pour a bucket of slime on me or something. I don't know.
Do they have slime at Meltdown in the Desert?
They could have. Like maybe
Why would he poured slime on you?
Maybe the stage opened up and then there was like a giant thing.
This is what your fear was?
Yeah. I don't know. I like over dramatizing things, folks. If you can tell.
Yeah, so if anybody has an acting gig, she's good to go. She's had lots of practice.
Hey Valerie, I know you're listening in spirit.
Very cool. All right. So I think we're going to go ahead and sign off. But today's show has been about how to be confident in yourself, right?
Wait.
What?
You know what time it is?
What time?
Funny face time. Wait, I have to make a very funny face.
Oh, you didn't like that one?
It's funny face time.
I have like a migrating funny face.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I just did it. I did a bunch of them, like all at one time. You didn't see it? Do it slow motion. All right. Well, this has been Superpower Up Podcast.
A family-friendly
show. We just scared small children. I don't think it's a family-friendly show. All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining us. As always, we appreciate your loyalty. And until next time, go out, uncover your superpowers, and
we can change the world.
Bye, everyone.